What we're going to talk about today are implications of the migrant crisis. And as you guys know, there's been an issue when it comes to the southern border. The Biden administration has done a very poor job of maintaining law and order at the southern border. Some people say that it's purposeful with nefarious motives, and other people say that it's a result of changing population dynamics. Regardless, whatever the case may be, there are many things that have occurred under this current administration that can literally be traced to the handling of the southern border. All right. One of those things that occurred was the death of the daughter of the woman who you will see in this interview by Fox News. There was many situations that have taken place where an American has been deleted by a migrant who turned out to be a harmful criminal. A young woman by the name of Jocelyn Nungaray is one of those unfortunate victims. What we're going to do is react to a video that was published by Fox News that is a interview of the news anchors and Jocelyn Nungaray's mom. And she's going to drop some interesting thoughts about the Kamala Harris candidacy and the Biden administration. And we're going to see how accurate those things may be.
To a personal story about the impact of the border crisis during Vice President Harris's interview with Bret Baier. She shifted the blame for the deaths by illegal immigrants who entered the country under her watch and seemed to struggle to give a compassionate response to victims' families, including the mother of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray. She was killed back in June. The suspects, 2 illegal immigrants. Alexis Nungaray, Jocelyn's mother, joins us now. I want to play that part of the Bret Baier interview with Kamala Harris in just a moment. But first, I want to say, Alexis, that our prayers are with you. And as the father of a daughter who's about the same age as Jocelyn was when she was killed, I can't even begin to wrap my head around what your family is going through and what poor little Jocelyn went through that night back in June.
Thank you so much for having me here. Every day is a new day. It's a constant reminder that she's not here with us. She's not in the grade she's supposed to be in. She's not making new memories like she should. It's been really hard on our family.
Oh, as I said, I can't even imagine. But earlier this week, in his exclusive interview with Kamala,
I'm going to be consistent with this. I've said this multiple times when we've talked about stories like this. In my opinion, one of the biggest robberies in the universe is a parent burying their child. That should never, ever, ever, ever happen. And I really feel bad a lot of times when that happens. Actually, I feel bad every time that happens. That's just not something that should occur. It's just extremely unfortunate.
Harris, our Bret Baier asked the vice president if families like yours deserve an apology from her and her administration. This is rather lengthy because it involves some of your testimony before Congress recently, but please bear with us while we play this out.
Madam Vice President, it was a policy decision in the early part of your administration. I will let one of the mothers talk about it. Take a listen.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungaray's flight.
That's the early days. So do you owe them an apology is what I'm saying.
I will tell you that I am so sorry for her loss. I'm so sorry for her loss, sincerely. But let's talk about what is happening right now with an individual who does not want to participate in solutions. Let's talk.
So Kamala Harris in this moment is very interesting. Very interesting what she just did. She did the quote unquote, let's move past it deflection. Now I find that interesting, right? Because I'm not a big fan of the let's move past it deflection. But I've seen the let's move past it deflection used in other scenarios. Anybody got any ideas of where you might have heard that before? Let me know.
Talk about that as well.
So she says that she is sorry for your loss, but then she shifted Jocelyn's story to Trump. What do you think about that?
I think she's completely full of it. She is not a sincere woman at all. She has no sympathy, no empathy to her. She's supposed to, if she wants to run this country, she needs to take into consideration the families that she has affected with these policies that she has allowed and that she has approved. It's unacceptable that she gave me a very empty, half open apology to thinking she was being sincere, to just shift like she always does in every interview, every questionnaire she has to somehow shift it over to Mr. Trump. And that makes absolutely no sense. Why can't you just take accountability like you should and actually try to make a difference? Maybe be humane and actually reach out to families that you have affected.
So we have been told time and time again by DHS, by the secretary, by officials at the White House, the border is secure. The illegal immigrants who are being paroled into this country have been vetted. They pose no national security risk to the country. Yet we now find out from investigators that they believe that the 2 illegal migrants from Venezuela, who are allegedly responsible for your daughter's death, were members of the notorious gang Tren de Aragua. Are you wondering, like many other people are, how did they ever get released into this country if that was their background?
It's always made me wonder, yes, because why put a ankle monitor on them in the first place? Was anything noticed? Did anything come abrupt? I always now for sure wonder, why did they need one now that this new information has became knowledgeable and has came into the light? It really makes me wonder, why were they released? Why? This should have been something that was immediately thought of, them being Venezuelan natives. And it just proves more that them being what they did so heinous was intentful. And this is the people that we so continuously decide to let in this country because of her open border policies.
The testimony that you and fellow victims of immigrant crime gave before Congress was just so compelling. And then there was this moment where Democratic Congresswoman Veronica Escobar suggested that you and your fellow victims were being exploited with your appearance before Congress. That led April Aguirre, who's a crime victims advocate, to have this exchange with the Congresswoman. Listen here.
It's insulting that you would say that to these families, that you would make an assumption that they're being used or exploited anyway. Not one time when her daughter was murdered and I was helping her navigate the criminal justice system did one Democrat call me to offer their assistance. It was only Republicans, and I am an independent. I vote both ways. So it's insulting. No, please don't speak over me because I'm still talking.
Okay.
I'm done. I have the mic. I have the floor. I have the floor. If you want to answer me, you ask.
Alexis, what did you take away from that exchange and the fact that the Congresswoman tried to suggest that you all were being manipulated and exploited?
I think it's very inappropriate with it being such a sensitive matter. If I have the option to be used, quote unquote, for how she said, for political gain, for others to get what they want, and then instead choose to have my daughter back and essentially be a nobody, I would always choose that in a heartbeat. I do this to continuously be my daughter's voice. I do this because my daughter fought incredibly hard her last moments of her life. And I will be damned if I don't fight hard the rest of mine for her. I do this because I want to, and because I need to raise awareness, and because we need to make change. This has to stop. We cannot keep burying our children.
Well, you are a powerful advocate for Jocelyn's memory. And again, our heart just breaks for what she went through and what you continue to go through. I don't know how you get up every day and put one foot in front of the other. God bless you, and thank you for being with us.
Yeah, that's a really sad story. And, it's very interesting, right? When it comes to being confronted with questions in regards to this situation, the lack of solutions that the Harris-Walz administration offers, and also, the lack of empathy just makes you wonder. You know what I'm saying? It just makes you wonder. Now, when it comes to the idea of quote unquote, my body, my choice, you got to ask the question, did Jocelyn Nungaray have a choice with what happened to her body that day? And whose policies took away that choice? I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, you already know what to do. Make sure you hit that bell icon twice, smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers. Make sure that you follow all of my social media and backup accounts. And I will catch you on the next video. All right, peace.